Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to COASTER-net Update. We've got some news out of Cedar Point, where over the last few weeks, we've seen some interesting walls go up in place around the former Town Hall Museum. Yes, if you've ever been back in Frontierland over by the now defunct Snake River Falls and Skyhawk, you may remember going through the Town Hall Museum, and they had some relics from the past there, from Cedar Point, from its history, from its beachfront and hotel beginnings, all the way through some of its defunct roller coasters. Some old rides were in there. A Gemini lead car was in there as well. So they had a whole bunch of stuff. Even the Print My Ride Steel Vengeance model was in there. They also had the Whitewater Landing model, the Blue Streak model, some pretty cool stuff. Was always in the Town Hall Museum, but that's been closed for a couple of years now. And the belief was that it would be reopening in a much more grand way, in a much bigger way. That was promised, or maybe not so much promised, but said to us, right after it closed, that there would be a reimagining here to try and make the history pop out more, because the museum was a little bit dated. Had a lot of old time stuff in there, not a lot of foot traffic going through, and on the smaller side, to say the least. So now we see fences going up around the Town Hall Museum, leading to some speculation of what's going on there. I think a lot of people are initially going to jump to Snake River Falls closing, this being right next to Snake River Falls. And could this facade, it's kind of like an old colonial building with pillars, and white siding. Could this be used as an entrance for a brand new ride? Maybe, say, a roller coaster? I don't know. We've been speculating for a long time that a big wood coaster could fit nicely back there, utilizing the Snake River Falls plot of land, and also the old Shoot the Rapid splashdown pad. It's a huge amount of space that they could work with, not just for a wood coaster, but for any roller coaster. And putting one back there seems to make sense. But it does seem too soon for that to happen, with Siren's Curse opening up, with Top Thrill 2 opening up last year, and into this year, and then Siren's Curse opening up, of course, this week and this weekend. So it seems a little too soon for fences to be going up. Could they be reimagining the Town Hall Museum like they promised, rebuilding it? I don't know. The location always seemed kind of small for that. Now, there are some food stands behind it that could be utilized as well. But all indications have pointed to that they kind of like stopped talking about the Town Hall Museum. So I would speculate that that is off the table, that maybe they have different plans for the Town Hall Museum. Maybe that idea is scrapped completely. I think the most likely answer is possibly doing another new haunt building. This would be the first time in a long time that they're utilizing an already built building to build a new haunt. And all the recent haunts have been built in brand new facilities. You think of the one inside the Steel Vengeance infield, the one over by Millennium Force Slaughterhouse, even up at the front of the park, Hext. Was a brand new building that was built. They have reused areas in the park before to make haunted houses. You think of the old office buildings that was turned into the Erie Estate. Up in the front, they used to have Zombie High School up there, utilizing some of those storage buildings behind the main midway. So they've used old buildings in the past, and this building just happens to sit exactly in the middle of what they now deem their scary haunt zone. So they've kind of tried to seclude all of the haunt activities all in the same area in Frontier Town, over by Vengeance. As you enter into Frontier Town from the Gemini Midway, and then you exit out of Frontier Town over by Millennium Force, all of that is now deemed to be this haunt zone, where everything is off limits, where there's scare actors roaming about. All their scare zones are there. Most of their haunted houses are there as well. They still have Hext up in the front, Erie Estate up in the front, but those are the last two stragglers, I do believe. And I could easily see either one of them disappearing very, very soon, because they have been there for quite some time. Erie Estate's been there, had some reimaginings done every now and then, but the same general walkthrough has been there. We have some videos of that up on COASTER.net on the YouTube somewhere if you want to check out Erie Estate. There's been some updates to the theme, to the idea, to the story, but the major basis of that haunt's the same. So I could definitely see that one going away, but that is a big piece of real estate right there, that would be left vacant. So I'm not so sure, but I do believe that the Town Hall Museum, back to the main story, right, could be turned into a new haunted house. What the theme may be is anybody's guess. Are they going to do something from the past? Are they going to revisit some other theme? Are they going to bring in an IP? Who knows? Probably not so much, but they do now have. It'd be very interesting to see, with Six Flags coming into the mix, where the DC villains fit into all of this. Some of the Six Flags last year were finally experiencing and experimenting with using the DC villains inside their haunted houses. We saw some uses of an Arkham Asylum type theme going on at some of the Six Flags parks. Could that be coming to Cedar Point? I don't know. I'd love to see it. I think it's amazing. I know a lot of people would hate to see that. I understand that as well. But I still think Arkham Asylum is an underutilized haunt theme across the industry. Not just at Six Flags, but we've seen some stuff over at Warner Brothers in Australia. We even saw a Warner Brothers haunt pop up over on the Warner Brothers lot a few years back that only lasted 1 year, I believe, at the studio in Hollywood that they have in the studio lot. They tried to do a haunt with some of their IPs that they controlled. It was pretty, for all intents and purposes, I heard it's pretty good, just not well attended because, Forever Rehab, who knows why. But so it could be a new IP. Could it be bringing back an old haunt? I would love to see. I loved. There was some Club Blood was one of my favorite haunts of all time. Although they do have the quasi vampire theme already being used. Zombie High School. That zombies are always in and out depending on what it is. People loved Happy Jack's Toy Factory. People loved it. Still can't stop raving about that one. Could they be? I don't know if the facade fits that one very well. I don't know if that matters at all for a haunt. Who knows? But could they be doing something brand new? Like what's the most what's the hottest thing in horror right now? It seems kind of like this realism. This is it horror? Is it just thriller? Is it just suspense type things? Like you think of like the movie Sinners or something. Obviously, they're not going to get an IP like that. But could you do something along those lines and have it be more a generically done type of thing like that? Victorian. We've seen a lot of the Cedar Fair haunts jump all the way and use a whole lot of different ideas. And the possibilities are endless, really. So I'm kind of excited because I felt like last year's Halloween weekend was missing something. I thought that it felt a little light in terms of experiences to be done. I don't know, like it just felt like there wasn't a whole lot. So adding another house, hopefully without subtracting one, because we do like to do that sometimes. Add one and subtract one. I have heard rumors that Cornstalkers may be not long for this world as well. So who's to know with that? So would they be adding one and then subtracting one as well? But hopefully it's a brand new experience. Hopefully it's something that people love. But that's probably my go-to right now, is turning that building into a new haunt. Maybe and you're going to say, well, if it's not big enough or whatever, how can it be big enough for a haunt? You'd probably have to use some of those facilities behind the museum. Some of the concession stand areas, and maybe close those off and use the whole facility as a haunt. We'll see. Who knows? When there's a will, there is always a way. At Cedar Point, that we always said that they always find new and creative ways to work with the spaces that they do have. And we're always, oh, they're out of space, and they always find ways to change our minds that they're not always out of space. So hopefully we'll see coming up Siren's Curse opening up this week. And then we'll be moving into the haunt season here soon enough. But we got a whole lot of rumors coming up. Dollywood just started teasing. We've got some interesting stuff coming out of Six Flags and Great Escape. We know over Texas is getting something big, and they started teasing what at least their theme is going to be. We kind of already know what the coaster is there. So we're going to be pumping out some videos here to give you all the latest and greatest news here in the coaster industry. Of course, I am Andy Robarchak from Chicago, Illinois. Right on, Ride Warriors.